had seen Brian multiple times at the gym and had never talked to him. So one day, I intentionally lifted right in front of him.
And I was debating whether or not I want to use the 45s or the 40s. And as I was going to grab the weight, Michaela comes up and plants herself like literally right in front of me, but to just the right. And I'm sitting there, and it kind of threw me for a loop because I never had someone kind of take my space like that at the gym before. So I kind of played off of it, and I looked at her, I'm like, am I in your way at all? You want me to move over? And she had her earphones in, and I didn't know if she really understood what I was saying, so I didn't know if I had to speak louder. But she kind of stared at me, and then she finally pulled them out. And that's when she stuck her hand out and said, I'm Michaela. And I put the 45s down, and I shook her hand as well and said, I'm Brian.
Basically, the similar upbringing. We went to, you know, all-girl versus an all-guy high school, and we just, I mean, everything about us was how did we not met before, kind of. And then I always thought he was older. I always thought he was like 30 years old. So we started talking about when he graduated. First of all, he told me he went to Creighton Prep, and that was my first like, oh no, here we go. And then he told me the year he graduated, and it was 2 years after I did, and I was like, oh no, robbing the cradle.
You make me work so we can work to work it out. And I promise you, kid, I'll give so much more than I get. I just haven't met you yet. They say all's fair in love and war, but I won't need to fight it. We'll get it right, we'll be united.
So one of the days when we were getting ready to leave, I was telling him, trying to give him a way to get my number, and we get ready to walk away, and I was like, hey, you know, I have a cell phone.
And I kind of looked at her, I'm like, well, I have a phone too.
And he just like smiled and giggled awkwardly like he always does when he's nervous, and walked away. So I didn't know what to think at that point. I was like, well, maybe this isn't gonna go anywhere.
So I actually told my mom about it. My mom kind of started laughing at me saying, you know, like, what the hell's wrong with you? We met each other at Blue Sushi over on like 145th and Maple.
He pulled up in his truck and got out, and I've never seen him in anything but gym clothes, and I was impressed. And I could tell he was nervous. But I like remember the exact spot where we were sitting.
And I wasn't really experienced with sushi, so I was like, you can order whatever you want.
One of the first things I said to him before we ordered, I was like, you know, I can eat a lot of food, so we better order a lot.
I was thinking to myself, I'm gonna have to compete with food with the girl sitting across from me. We ended up going to Schmidley's driving range.
And Brian almost killed somebody when he was swinging.
When you hit a golf ball, it's all about precision and not about power, because that's what the guy said next to me after I almost hit him with a golf ball 3 times.
When he swings a golf club, he swings it like a baseball bat. Our first kiss was, we went to see The Dictator, and it was in the Village Point parking lot.
I don't remember our first kiss.
Awkward.
Do we have to talk about this? Let's make it like an idiot. I think Michaela and I's first kiss was either in downtown Omaha, at a park at 168th and 4th Street, or at Village Point. Actually, it was at Village Point after we saw the movie The Dictator out in the parking lot. I do remember that.
But every time she asks me, do I look okay? I say.
And then after that, we saw each other almost every night. We were doing stuff every night together. And I had to work 12-hour shifts as a nurse, and he got off at 11 p.m. And we were just with each other all the time. And it didn't matter. Like it didn't matter that I couldn't barely function at work. I was so tired. Like we had so much fun together, and we still do.
Well, luckily, Michaela and I kind of had a strong connection from the start. I think we both had the same feeling about wanting to marry each other at relatively the same time.
We had talked about getting engaged because, I mean, I never thought that when you know until I met Brian, and everything is perfect. Everything's been perfect, and we knew we were meant to be together. So we talked about it really soon.
I think it's so sexy. She's so beautiful.
So most everybody knows that my dad had passed away back in January. And one thing that was really important to me and to Brian is that Brian was able to meet my dad. And that he was able to ask my dad if it was okay if he married me. And my dad adored Brian.
You know, just a relief to know after having the conversation with him that, you know, he said yes, I could have the opportunity to ask Michaela to marry me.
My dad always told my sister and I that he wanted us to find somebody that would love us as much as he loved my mom and would treat us right. And Brian was that person for me, and my dad knew that right away.
He did mention that, you know, he noticed that we respect each other very well, and that he could tell that there was, you know, something special between us.
And he was able to see how we were together and that we were meant to be together. And so it's really nice that we have had his blessing on our marriage.
The day that I proposed to Michaela, I was actually really nervous. I had had the ring for about, you know, 2 weeks at this point in time, and it's kind of funny because I came home from work and I was going to propose to her when I got back from work, but I came into the door and she said, well, I'm not feeling too well, so I actually made a trip to Walgreens first.
Came back home, I took the medicine, I was just laying in bed, and Brian has all the lights on in the apartment, pacing around like a sick dog.
I think I had a plan to begin with, but the plan kind of went downhill after it was all like time to actually propose because I got real nervous and forgot everything.
So he goes into the closet, it's like shuffling through things, and comes back out with this little box. He looks scared to death, and I just have a huge grin on my face, and laying in bed, and I sit up, and he just gets down on one knee and asks me to marry him, and I say, of course I will, and puts the ring on my finger, and that was that.
If there's one thing that I can say to Michaela on our wedding day, it's that I truly, absolutely do love you with all my heart, and I truly cannot wait to spend the rest of my life with you.
If there's one thing I could tell you, Brian, on our wedding day is that I love you so much, and I'm so honored to be your wife, and I cannot wait to start our family and our future together.
I love you, Michaela.
Oh, come on, girl. Who cares if we're trash? Got a pocket